I'm Abby.
And I'm Kate.
And we're your hosts for Beyond the Bookshelf.
Yay.
Yay!
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to Beyond the Bookshelf.
We are talking about probably the most anticipated read of 2025, for us at least. I don't know. Do you have any other really high anticipated ones? I mean, I guess Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry we were really excited about, but I feel like this one we were really excited about.
Right. Yeah, I think this one I was super excited about. There's probably some more coming out later in the year that just haven't been announced.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Maybe those. I know. Need some
I need
more
an
books.
ACOTAR book. Where is that?
Yeah, where? Okay, because do you think she'll announce one?
I hope so.
When is that celebration thing? Is it happening now, like the 10-year?
Oh,
or is that in May?
I don't know.
Do you know
it's
the
in
10-year
May.
anniversary?
Yes. Because I do remember.
Okay.
I remember them
So
talking
hopefully.
about it last year. Because I remember last year it was 9 and it was in May, so it has to be.
Okay.
We could be completely wrong.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I can't really remember.
No, May sounds right to me.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I certainly hope so. Also, okay, so you remember all that stuff with the ACOTAR, the black special editions that came out?
Yes.
Okay, so I had pre-ordered them and then I decided to cancel them because I was like, well, I shouldn't have spent money on them because it was a lot of money. And then I'm so glad I did because I keep seeing videos and they're so ugly.
What?
In person.
Really?
Because I mean they're just entirely black. They have the black cover and then the edges are black and it just is
there's nothing
mediocre.
Yeah. It just looks like Onyx Storm at that point, or any other book.
Right. It's just so lame.
Yeah.
It's like the Night Court edition, but it's so lame. I keep seeing videos and I'm like, wow, I really saved myself.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It's kind of boring. There's nothing pretty about it. It's
nothing
just
new. It's
dark.
Yeah, what? Dark with silver on it, I guess.
I can see getting one book, pick your favorite in the series and get it, but I don't need a whole series of just black books. Dark.
Yeah, I know. And where would I put them? So
True.
I like the colorful ones.
I have my
Anyways.
powerless books displayed over here.
Look at you. I know. I wish that I could sit in front of my bookshelves, but the way my room is set up is that my bookshelves are literally right next to my window. I mean, I guess I have ones back over there, which I think I'm covering in my video.
Yeah, I gotta do it for the lighting.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit on my floor to record this. So
it's okay.
Comfort first.
It's totally fine.
That's okay.
To start,
maybe one day we can do a tour.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Also, little tidbit of information, just to keep you updated. So yesterday I was filming a reel, and I had 3 big books in my hand, one of them being Onyx Storm, and I dropped them on my bookshelf, and the one of these things popped out. I was and me being me, the first thing I did was, oh, my books, and I went down to my books. I wasn't even looking at the fact that my whole bookshelf was messed up. So now I have one part of my bookshelf just being held up by Lego boxes. And
that's fine. Put them to good use.
Yeah, my Onyx Storm is a little beaten, but
it was already a little warped, so
yeah, that's true. If any book is gonna get hurt, I mean, might as well be that one, I guess. It hurt me, so we can hurt it back.
You can hurt it back.
Yeah, I just had to tell you about that because it really upset me. I'm okay, I'm ready to move
that's
now
so
that I can build my own bookshelves. And
so you could have a wall.
I know.
You need a book room.
I know. Ugh. Sad day. That was a very sad day.
Welcome to our April. It is April, right?
And it's still April. So this is perfect.
Our April book club.
Yay!
Wrap up, in which we read Fearless.
Second one.
What a good time.
Second book club book.
This is our second official book club book. How exciting for us.
I don't know if we decided which one we were doing next. I know we talked about doing the Emily Henry book. I know you're already reading it.
Yeah, I know. Well, we talked about that, and then I started it, and I was like, well. But I think we should still do it.
Yeah, I think we can still do it. And, yeah, it came out so recently that I feel like it would be fine to do it in May, because I doubt everybody's even... I don't feel like there's a crazy amount of people reading it right now. I know there are definitely people reading it, but it'll be a good time.
And I mean, we don't always have to do a new book, but I feel like, I feel like that's a good pick.
It's good because we know that nobody has read it for the most part because it's new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can read it together.
Yeah.
I am not very far, maybe 35%, 37.
Do you like it so far?
I do. I like it better than people we meet on vacation.
I saw something about it being a mystery.
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Is it?
It totally is.
Okay.
It's not like a hardcore mystery, but it's definitely like there are some mysterious aspects to the story. I am really enjoying it. There has not been a lot between the two main characters yet. I feel like that's not like the main plot at this point, but I'm not like upset about it.
Great.
So I really am enjoying it a lot. So we can't wait to hear what you think.
Oh my gosh,
and then we'll
I'm excited to read it.
Read along.
Well, as far as Fearless goes, I've been dying to hear your thoughts because I think we kind of talked a little bit, but we both had not really different point of views or like different feelings about it, but I think we definitely had a few opinions that were like slightly different from one another. But I guess we'll just start with this. What did you end up rating it? Because like you said, you haven't even posted on Goodreads yet that you finished it.
Yeah, it's still not on Goodreads. Okay, so here's my dilemma. Okay, and we can talk about this more. I don't want to say this. I need to make you sign like a paper that says you'll still be my friend.
Oh my gosh, how bad is this? Oh no.
I just feel like I didn't ever until probably like 75% of the book like really want to read it.
Wow, really?
I don't know. I just feel like it did not capture my attention as much as Powerless or Reckless did, and I'm not really sure why. Well, actually, I do have some theories as to why, but I feel like even if I were living under different circumstances, I feel like I still would have been like about it, like picking it up, which I feel terrible to say.
Wow.
I don't feel like it was a bad book. I just wasn't like, it wasn't like when Reckless came out and I literally read it in like 2 days because I could not put that book down.
Well, and that book felt like it was half the size. Like it was so much smaller.
Yes, I think maybe that's some of the other thing too, is that like literally this book was so big and I just was like,
because I read Reckless in like a day and a half too, and it took me like 5 days. It took me like almost a whole week to finish Fearless, and I was reading it every day. So I mean, there was definitely more fluff in there, so I can see where you're coming from for sure. Yeah,
I feel like, and this could just be me, that it could have been maybe 100 pages shorter, but that could just be me. So anyways, that's my dilemma. And I still haven't told you what I'm going to rate it because I kind of don't know. So yeah. Okay. Here's one of my reasons for not picking it up is because literally the day it came out was when I went to I didn't go get him. I went to go look at Snickers.
It's all Snickers'
And then the
fault.
next day I brought him home, which I totally was not expecting to happen in my life at all. So I think maybe if Snickers was not in the equation, I could have finished it a little faster and been a little more engaged. So I think so much of my attention was focused on that whole thing and like literally everything else that's going on in my life. So that probably has some stuff to do with it, if not a lot. But yeah. I also just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm generally like very, I don't want to say stupid. Stupid is not the right word. Like I don't know, maybe my brain just turns off when I read and I try to like just not guess where anything's going, but I feel like I could guess literally till the end of the book, and I know what part. Well, we can't talk about this yet. I'll talk about this later.
Yeah, this is
I feel like
spoiler-free.
everything up until like the very end of the book was so predictable to me, up till like literally the last like 80%. And like I wasn't consciously like, or no, what am I trying to say? Like I wasn't like trying to figure it out. I just like would be like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, and then like 5 pages later it did.
Yeah.
So
no, I
anyways.
felt the same way. I think wait, I guess yeah, I'll just talk about this and then I'll let you give your possible rating, but
that I still haven't given.
I
have so many excuses.
It's okay. No, I totally agree. I think I definitely enjoyed it a ton. I gave it a 5. But I see where you're coming from. I think there were a few plot points in the book where I was like, okay, like this seems really obvious, and we kind of talked about like how are the characters not picking up on this detail.
Yes.
And it could have been that they didn't have all the information that we had. We kind of said that. Like maybe we know a little bit more info
you keep
than
talking.
they
Snickers
do.
just fell off
the
bed.
No. Snickers. But overall I absolutely loved the book. I think I finished it almost like 2 weeks ago and still haven't stopped thinking about it. I think it's just such a like as a whole, the series as a whole, I feel like is so pure and so easy to understand as far as fantasy goes. Love the romance, love the banter. It's always top notch, and I feel like the banter was really good in this book too. And I think but I do think there were a few plot points that were like a little obvious, but for me it didn't take away from my rating. Like I think from 40% I already knew I was going to rate it a 5-star, and that might just be because of how much I love the characters. Like getting to experience more of their lives just is 5-star for me. Like it doesn't matter what they're doing. Like they could be sitting there eating food
I just want to be with
and
them.
talking. Yeah, like we could just be sitting there having dinner with these characters, and Pei and Kai could be like, you know, witty back and forth and like having that little banter, and I'd still give it a 5 stars, I think.
You're like, yes, please, literally anything.
But all that being said, I personally do think that this book was 4.5 5-star material, even if it wasn't Pei and Kai. For me it was like 4.5 5-star. But what did you end up
deciding?
Yeah,
I feel like on Goodreads I'm gonna put it out of 4.
okay.
And then in the notes say 3.5, which it sounds so bad, but I don't think that 3.5 stars is a bad rating.
No,
I don't.
No,
think that it's inherently bad, and I think that that's what I'm gonna
I
go
think
with. But it will be a 4 on
yeah,
Goodreads,
I think
so.
3 and above means you enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely would recommend it to people. I feel like personally I wanted some more different material in the book than what we got.
Yeah.
So, but that is my personal preference.
So then last question before we jump into spoiler section. Where would you rank the 3 books on like favorite to least favorite? I'm assuming it's Reckless, Powerless, Fearless.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd rank them.
Okay.
Is that what no, I feel like you would not rank them that way.
No. I would probably I think I'd rate them Fearless, Reckless, Powerless.
Okay. So
I think Fearless was my favorite.
no, that's not in opposite order. I'm like really disappointed that it's not my favorite.
I know. Maybe
in all
honesty,
honesty,
after we have this deep dive, you'll think differently about it, but I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. There's something about it did
Mhm.
not, I don't know. It just did not catch my interest, and I'm really upset about
I think what got me, which is why I'm like kind of shocked that it didn't get you, is there were just so many good Pei and Kai moments that we hadn't seen yet. Like it didn't, to me it didn't feel like it was like she was rewriting the same thing. Like there were a few things that were like continued from the last books because it's just like a thing that they do, you know, like there's like little things that he'll say to her or whatever. But other than that, I feel like their scenes were really fresh. Like they felt like all new material, and so I think that really was what pushed it to a 5 for me, because even though there were a few things that we were kind of iffy on, I think the banter and the character development between and their relationship development, I think, is what did it for me ultimately.
Yeah. Well, and I think the way that Lauren's writing has improved since the first book,
no, I totally agree.
Really upped that.
I noticed
like
that in this book.
feel like her writing has just gotten so much better. Not that it was terrible in the first book, but I mean, yeah, I think that just the way she writes, the way she describes things, aside from the fact that she uses so many adverbs that it's a little like, I was a little like, please can we stop with the ly words? But like, I don't know, I just feel like the way she described things was so much better in this book, so much improved, and I really did appreciate that and enjoy that. And I know she's talked about that, how she feels like she's grown as a writer, and I think that you definitely can tell.
Yeah.
So
no,
all her hard work did not go to waste.
Yeah, there were definitely a good amount of quotes in this one that just felt deeper and felt like she really, really took time to perfect those quotes. So I appreciated that. Well, do you have anything else to say before we hop into the spoiler part of this podcast episode?
I think so. If you read this along with us, though, you read this, share your ratings on Fable.
I think we had
so
a
that we
few
can all
this
see
time.
that. Yeah, we did. I know. I was excited about that.
I think we had like 2 that were actually reading it, but only one that like commented in there. But it's okay.
Fine.
We'll get more.
That's an improvement.
We have like 8 people on there now. This is so fun. It's becoming a real book club.
I know. It's a great time. But yeah, all that to say, yeah, we didn't agree with our rating, but that's okay. It gets us to have some more discussion on the podcast.
I still feel like I can change you somehow.
You feel like you can?
Or like at least bump you up a little bit.
Well, it's going to be a 4 on Goodreads.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just with a 3.5 subtext.
I can deal with that.
Can you work with that? I'm not like bashing the book. I did like it.
No, because I agree. I totally agree on like your negative reasonings.
I think that you like these characters more than I do.
Yeah, probably.
Just like inherently you like them more than I do. I don't want to say I don't care about them, because that's not true. I care about other characters more in different series than I care about.
I think that's so valid. I think that's so valid.
So
I definitely, after reading this last book, Kai like bumped to the top. He is number 1 on my list.
Like what we predicted in that one episode.
Like literally number 1. Like he bumped out Reese. Like that's crazy. But
wow.
yeah, I mean, so that
actually,
shows
I feel like I like Kai more than Reese, but
I don't know who my maybe it was Zayden before. I don't know who my favorite was at this point, but there's too many.
I don't know. We got to go back to that one episode.
Anyways,
see who was at the top. I feel like Peta was at the top of your list.
Wait,
actually,
he probably was.
I think it was.
I don't remember. Oh, I don't know if he can bump out Peta. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. Peta's my long term.
Oh my goodness.
He's been my boy since day 1. So I feel like I can't.
Well, if we're talking about boys since day 1, then mine would have to be Legolas, which is slightly embarrassing.
Yeah.
Me at 8 years old with Orlando Bloom as Legolas plastered on my wall. Like, that one's fine.
Oh.
Oh, no. Well, that's our spoiler-free section. If you didn't read with us, or you're just finding our podcast and you wanted to know our ratings and some spoiler-free discussion, that's what that is. But go read the book. I do, regardless of my 3.5 review, do recommend that you read it to give it a shot, and then you can listen to the next part. Abby gave it a 5 and recommends it. So that's like what, an 4.1 average.
I feel like this is like the farthest we've ever been in like a rating.
I know.
Because
that's why I literally was scared to talk about this.
No, I want to hear all the things. No, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of cool having a friend that you are like so similar to in your book. What's it called? Your book taste. What? Your book taste. Because I feel like most of the books you read, like if you tell me you love it, I know I'm gonna love it. And so that's so fun too, because if we get, when we read books that are different, you always have somebody to turn to for more book recs when you need one. So except I don't read, I haven't read as many books as you, but I feel like I do read different books sometimes. So I hope I can be that for you too.
We read the same, but we also read some different books, so it's like good.
Yeah.
So yeah, look at us go.
Look at us go.
But anyways, without further ado, we will now spoil the whole
so
book.
This is your warning.
Please don't listen if you don't want to be spoiled.
Warning.
So don't come for us. Yeah, warning. Snickers says get out if you haven't read the book.
Snickers says get out.
Or he'll bite you, and he actually will, because he loves to bite people.
Aw, Snickers.
He can't help it. He's a puppy.
Poor baby.
He can't help it. Poor pup. He tries to bite my books. He was biting
Snickers.
Fearless the other day. I was like, get off my book, please.
This is the one thing you cannot have.
He was warning me.
Aww. Okay, so as far as spoilers go, I guess I'll just start with...
Should we talk about...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Are we going to go in chronological order, or just like order of...
I was thinking...
spoiler level?
Yeah, I was thinking chronological, but like as the spoilers come in. Like I feel like the thing I was about to talk about is like the first spoiler, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And that was the fact that Peyton is going back into the trials.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Initially I was like...
Yeah, you know your thoughts on this.
Initially I was like, why? Like, this felt like we already did it. I was a little could we not come up with something else? Like, that was just like, that's all. We're just going to go back. Okay. I was like, cool. But I feel like as the trials started, I began to like love them more and more. Or like them. I don't know if I'd say love them, because I don't think I loved them, but I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it. But at first I was a little hesitant.
I think she could have described it not as another set of trials.
Right.
Maybe. Because I feel like it wasn't formatted like the original trials were anyway. So maybe she could have just not said that. And then we would have been appeased. Because I had the same reaction. Kit was like, she's going to go back to the trials. And
that one scene could have been like switched a little bit.
I was like, I'm not sure that I really want to do that, but okay.
No, yeah, I was like,
I don't know.
But I think...
I was like, so we're having a trial trip again.
In the end, I think I ended up liking it, and I do feel like there were parts of the trials that... They weren't boring, but there were just parts that I was like, we could have left out this page and a half.
Yes, for
Mainly
sure.
on that first one.
But there was there was a lot of growth that happened, but also a lot of like filler. There were some filler episodes happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was interesting. I remember texting you, and I think I texted my friend Lindsay. I was like, "Oh, we're doing the trial trip again." Okay.
Lauren really
choice.
Got us too with that video that she posted about I have 4 things that are true, 1 thing that's not, because all of those things happened. Literally all the things she said happened.
Yeah, okay, so
just
I
in
was
like a different...
trying to think of them.
Yeah, no, I went back and watched the video and I was like, okay, so all of these happened, just like not in the way that you expected them to happen. But I thought it was...
So which one is the lie?
Well, I thought it was interesting that she met 2 queens. One of the thing was like Peyton's gonna meet another queen in this in this book, and she met two, because in the first trial she met the dead queen, and I was in my brain I was like,
so maybe
oh,
that's
we met the queen. But then she goes in the second trial where she has to go like gift the roses to the queen, and that was the second queen she met. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so maybe that's what the lie was. She met two queens and not one.
That's probably what it was.
Maybe that's
probably what it was. You're right.
Because they also still got married.
Yeah, all of them happened.
Actually, can we like talk about that?
Yeah.
Because this actually might be why my rating is a little lower too, also. So, okay, let's just talk about how they got married when literally all of us know that they're siblings, half siblings.
And I guess they didn't know at the
like,
time, which was weird.
Okay, so they're just extra dumb.
No, they're just dumb.
So it was just like a whole Game of Thrones, Luke and Leia, Star Wars situation.
Yes.
Like, I'm not sure how I felt about that.
Yeah,
I didn't really like that.
I was
also. Okay, no,
You're
sorry
good.
to cut you off. Also, why did they not instantly like annul the marriage once they figured that out?
Because of Kit. Kit was like, no, we can't, because he had something up his sleeve.
That just like made me mad. I feel like anyways, I was like, why do we not?
Yeah, well, I think right after
right
they figured it out too, like Kai immediately was like retching to the side, like he was a little like, like what, y'all need to get, you need to quit this. You need to, like, I think he wanted them to get an annulment, and so did Peyton. But that was when like I went back and read it after I finished the book. And Kit, like, had said some things in there that, like, kind of, if you knew what happened in the end of the book, you can see why he was trying to, like, steer her in a different direction. Because I think...
Yeah. Is that when he was, like, turning evil?
Yeah. I think I think he's been evil the whole time.
Well, he's been evil the whole time.
That was crazy.
Well, for sure. But that's because of... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only part of the book that well, no. I don't even want to say that because I knew he was, like, sus... Like, he was being so weird. And like cooperative, but then like he was evil and then he wasn't, but then he was again, and the time that he was again at the end of the book was where I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one twist that I
was honestly that was the one part of the entire book I think that I was like, this would have bumped my rating down, because I think I fell in love with Kit's character in this book at the beginning. And the first, 15 to 30 pages, I was loving his character. Like, you can go back and look, at our little book thing. And I was like, I love Kit. I love Kit. And I think where I was at with Kit in my head towards the end of the book, I would have happily, this sounds bad, but, I would have happily had him die and, been able to mourn his loss. Whereas because she turned him and flipped him into a villain all of a sudden in the last chapter that he was alive, that death really didn't hit for me at all. Because I was so done with him. I was so fed up. I was like, just kill him. I was just kind of done at that point. And so that is the one thing that I was like, why did you do that? It was a very cool twist, I think. And I respect her for that, but I kind of wish they would have kept that character development that you could kind of see having in him. Him laughing with Peyton and Kai and the wine cellar. I think it was a wine cellar. And just all the little tidbits of Kit that we got in this book leading up to that, I feel like you were like, oh my gosh, he's had so much character growth. I said degrowth. From the first book. And so I feel like we just completely wiped the slate clean with that whenever we find out that he was actually had negative motives this entire time, and he actually didn't have any character development. It actually went in the opposite direction, and he actually learned nothing from the other two books. So that bugged me.
I think we saw why he kind of was the way he was when we read all the letters that he had written, because I mean he just had no one loved him, So I think that's definitely like why. But I mean, I still was like, what? Also, I feel like I just couldn't. Ow! Stop it, Snickers. Um, I could just not get. I was feeling so sussed out by him and Callum, which we can talk about Callum in a second. The entire book that I feel like I was never fully like on board with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just too sussed out by him. So I feel like I was not like in love with
I
him.
kept getting Callum and Lenny confused, and I think that was the reason
That
I
didn't
didn't
help you?
fully realize that anything was going on with Callum, because I kept thinking he was Lenny for a second, and then yeah,
And then he was.
and then I was like, wait, this
suddenly
is a
not.
different character. Yeah.
Yeah, Callum was the one in the whole last book that was like with Kit the whole time in all his chapters.
Oh.
Do you remember that? How
Yeah.
like he would have those random chapters and Callum was the mind reader, and also apparently the, what is it called? He has two powers.
Oh.
Is he a
Oh,
silencer?
he's like able to get
or
people
is
to
he the
believe
controlling
him.
one?
Like,
That's the
I
one.
don't know
Okay,
what
yeah,
it
so he
is.
has two powers.
He says something and
So
they
I
believe
think
him.
he was also right. Yeah, he was like totally involved in
Oh, yeah.
Reckless. That's who Kit was with the whole
Yeah.
time.
So that does make a little more sense as to like why Kit ended up the way he was.
Yeah, because he was being
Yeah.
coerced to some
It just
extent.
makes me very sad that he had that ending.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
It's like,
oh,
really? I would have loved a little bit of redemption for him, and instead we kind of went in the opposite
yeah.
direction.
There was
But
no redemption arc.
there
There were a lot of points in this book where I would have liked to see some redemption in the story, and then there was none. But maybe that's just me. I like to see some redemption in stories, I guess.
See, I felt like we had that with Kai. Like, Kai's the only character, I think,
Yeah.
where he like fully grew into this man. And by the end of it, you know, spoiler, this is all the spoiler section, obviously, but like
Spoiler.
not that we didn't just say that Kit's dead. But
No, literally.
I think when we get to see all of Kai's growth up until now, and then seeing him with his daughter at the end, like, broke me
Yes, that was
to pieces.
so
I was
sweet.
like, this is, and he was just so good with her, and you could tell how happy they were. And on another note, I feel like, or on that same note, I was really happy that we got like 3 full chapters of Pei and Kai at the end, because I feel like a lot of books nowadays, they only give you like 3 pages of an epilogue. And so the entire series or book, you're like leading up to that end, and then they give you 3 pages and you're done. And you're like, oh, cool. So we just went through that whole journey and that's all I got. And so I was really grateful that we got like 3 full chapters of getting to see them like at their wedding, and like their thoughts as they were getting married, and like having their first child and whatever. And so I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. Yeah, Kai, top character.
Oh, 100%.
For sure in this book.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like Peyton didn't even really get a good redemption
No.
arc.
I didn't.
And her whole thing with murdering Blair actually made me so angry.
I don't feel like she got redemption until the last 3 chapters, like whenever they saw her in the market, which was dumb. Why?
Yeah.
Why was Blair there?
I don't know.
I was confused at that.
Yeah.
Did that mean that she was still alive?
Maybe. I guess.
I remember reading that and I was like, wait, I
don't know what else
she was
it would mean.
gone. Yeah, I don't know.
Beats me.
Also,
But yeah, the whole thing with her killing Blair, and then like there were no consequences for it basically.
Yeah,
and
they were just like, oh, well, we'll keep it quiet. I wonder if Kit did that though, because it was like another motive for him. Like there was something he was, because he was the one that was like, don't worry, we're going to keep it quiet. And he like didn't, he told all his people not to say anything. I just
feel like it didn't help her at all. It didn't add to her character. It took it away, and took away from her also, because I think she thought that killing Blair would
make
like
her feel
help
better,
her recover from Adina's death, and it
which
didn't.
When you really think about it, like I know she's messed up, but like killing somebody is not going to make you feel better. Like, you
Right.
should know that.
And I feel like we just kind of glazed over that too. Like, she like got killed, and then like no one talked about it
I
anymore.
feel like she should know that better than anybody,
It was really
because I
odd.
mean, even when we see her like killing one of Kai's men in Reckless at the beginning, and she talks about like
Yes.
feeling so much grief for him and whatever. I'm like, and then we turn around in Fearless and we're like, I need to kill this girl so that I can get closure.
Yeah, it did not fit
Yeah.
her character. I don't. Feel
Yeah,
like.
that was a
that
little
part
odd
actually.
to me.
Yeah, that really irked me.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Made me
only other
sad.
thing
I
that
was
I
like,
was
oh.
like a little was like, was in the second trial, whenever that sea monster came out and Pei
And they killed
Yeah,
it in 2
and,
seconds.
well, like, Pei killed it though, was the part where I was like, yeah, right.
You're like, what?
Yeah, right. Like, all of these men are dying from this sea monster, and like Kai was even struggling and stuff, and then she just kills it. I'm like, okay, I know you're strong, but like you're not that
like
strong.
she's also an ordinary. She don't have
you
any
don't
powers.
have any powers.
Which I know that's the whole point of the book, but
I know. Yeah, I was a little like, that's not fully believable, but I'm gonna let you have it.
that's okay. You're here for the vibes.
I think all of the scenes on the boat with Kai and Pei were so precious, though. So I think I just let that slide
Yes.
because we got so many good scenes with them.
Yeah, you were like, I'm gonna just ignore that and focus on this other
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, not them killing it so fast.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No one's ever been able to kill it before, but don't worry, this girl who has no powers,
She's got it.
she's gonna kill it.
She's got it.
She's got this.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not powerless.
Yeah, no.
She's fearless.
Oh, man.
Fearless.
Yeah, even I think in her, was it the third trial? Oh wait, the third trial was the sea monster. No, that was the
No, I
second.
thought
That was the second
one.
It was the same
Because
one.
they were on the boat.
Yeah, same one. Whenever they went to
The
talk to
third
the
one.
queen too, I
Yeah.
feel like the queen was really chill about everything going on too. I was like, you're a little too chill right now.
Yeah, then she sent that shady message at the end.
Yeah.
She was like, I know you brought those
She was like, but I
roses.
forgive you. I was like, okay, you forgive her?
We got some redemption.
Yeah.
We got some
Yeah,
forgiveness.
Thank you.
No, the third trial was like kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can't believe that
I really liked the third trial.
Adina's boy was the
oh my gosh, Mac.
guy. That made me really sad.
Oh, we forgot to talk about him. Yeah, that makes me want to reread Powerful because I didn't reread that one leading up to Fearless, and I want to get all of that in my brain again. But
Well, did we know that he had powers? I feel like we didn't know
yes, so that's why I feel like I need to reread it, because when I was like really thinking about it, I remember he was telling Adina that he had the Enforcer's powers, and that was why he like was, I could be wrong, but I feel like he was afraid to go into the castle for that reason, because somebody would like sense that he had those powers,
he had
because
that.
they killed people with his powers because they only wanted Kai to have that
Right.
power, which is interesting. But
some weird politics happening.
yeah, I'm really happy that she brought Mac back in, because
I know.
I was kind of like really pulling for her to bring him back in, because I feel like Pei and Mac needed that that meetup and to have that moment.
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad that we had that moment between them where they just like sat in their old home and just cried for Adina. I thought that was so precious.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
chapters in the book. It was just so
Mhm.
good.
But I think the whole third trial was absolutely insane. I didn't fully see it coming that it was Mac. Like, I don't think I saw that
I
at
didn't know
all.
it was him.
Yeah,
But I think that's because we just
we thought it was
forgot that
Kai
he had
too.
those powers.
Yeah, and I don't know. That whole part for me was like probably one of the best like scenes in the series for me, because we were so, which I I didn't like it at the beginning because I was like, are you serious? Like, you're going to kill your brother? Like, I was thinking, like, Kit, like, what?
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, no part of me thought that this could be, like, a glamour putting, like, on Kai, or on the person that looked like Kai, I guess. No part of me thought that. I was just like, Kit, are you dumb? Why would you send your brother in there, like, willingly? I mean, I know that he probably thought, I mean, he says it at the end that he thought that Mac was going to kill her.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason he sent her in. But yeah, whenever they were going to the dungeon or whatever to go see him, which, why did they put him in a dungeon when he was dead?
He was like,
I was like,
dead.
okay.
That was, I don't know. Hey, you just gotta overlook
That's
some things.
whenever my brain was like, oh my gosh, wait. And I think I started thinking, holy crap, this could be Mac. And then when they showed his face, I, like, lost it. But I thought that was really well done. Although at the beginning I was like, why are we fighting Kai? This is dumb. But it all made sense after a few chapters, and I really liked that. But yeah, I think that was, let me see if I had any of my other notes.
I'm trying to remember, like, the context for this chapter, because I said it was, like, one of my favorite chapters, and I can't figure out what the context is. So
I loved the when he held her shoes chapter.
Yes, I liked that. That was so funny.
I think that was one of my favorites.
I liked their whole dynamic in that chapter. They were just chilling.
That, I feel like, was where you saw a lot of Lauren's writing growth in that chapter.
Yeah. I really liked the one chapter where Kai's at the willow tree and like sitting with his sister, like, at her grave, and he's talking about how he can't lose Peyton like he lost Ava. I thought that one was really precious. And then there's another one. Hang on. I did mark this one. I think when they were mourning Kit, that also was really well written too.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end.
Yeah, Kai had,
even though I'm, like, confused why, anyways. Even though Kit's death was, like, an interesting situation, I feel like the way they mourned him was
I agree.
good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate that Peyton still felt a lot of grief for him, even knowing all that she knew at the end. Like, I think I would hold a lot of, like, hate in my heart if that were to happen to me. And so
yeah, literally, me
I'm
too.
glad that she was portrayed as, like, you know, being really upset about the death and not, like, not in a negative way, like, being mad at him, but
yeah, she wasn't, like, harboring any like negative feelings towards him. So
yeah, and also kind of crazy that we had all this build up to them, to them under the willow tree the night before Peyton's wedding. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I saw this this post that Lauren said she originally wasn't even going to make the first kiss until the third book. I was like, Lauren, that would have killed me. I don't think it would have been as good if she waited.
No. That would have been wild work.
Yeah, like, how do you even do that? The tension would be crazy at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, that's insane. I think their first kiss was, like,
oh my goodness,
towards the end of the first book, but I think that would have been insane. And the second book would not be what it was if they didn't kiss.
No, not at all.
Because I feel like most of that book was made up of that, like, tension building.
Yeah. What did you think of the epilogue?
I just pretended like I didn't read it.
I, like, don't know what, like, is it setting something up?
I don't
like,
know.
what purpose did it serve? I just kind of confused that and the prologue. Do you know what the prologue was prologuing?
I can't even remember what the prologue was, if I'm being honest.
It was like the two guys. Like, do you know what I don't even know. It was like they like met up and like it was dark.
Let's see.
And I don't know. I just like maybe we need to figure this out while we're on the podcast because I read it and was like, what does this mean?
What?
Maybe it's talking about the resistance forming. But I feel like they were talking about killing someone.
You know.
Wait. Maybe it was them getting Mac.
Maybe. What?
I don't know. Yeah,
you know what you have to do
I was like,
to an extent returns the first man. Very good. I'm trusting you won't disappoint. I think it was.
Do you think it was Mac? That like
oh my gosh,
wait.
It says, I can't make any promises. This should be enough to ensure you make this worth everyone's while. Yes, this should do. Now, it needs to look real. Understand? Make me believe you. I will.
That totally is Mac. We figured it out. Lauren voiced that in the audiobook too, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Good for her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a deep dive into that prologue later. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I like remember reading that and I was like, when am I going to see this come back? And then I just didn't think about it. But now that we are talking about it, that totally has to be what it was. I can't imagine any other situation in which that would be relevant.
Yeah. Well, overall, I really liked it. I think we definitely harped on like some of the things we didn't like in this, but overall, I think the banter and the relationship between Pei and Kai is really what did it for me, and I think it was really well done, and this is a 5-star series for me. I love it so much. And yeah,
it definitely like it's a good series, and I think it's a good starter fantasy series. Like if you don't even want to go to
it's so easy to understand.
Like it's so easy. It's just like if you think you don't like fantasy and you don't read fantasy, you will like this will be so easy
and
to read.
Closed door.
Highly recommend.
It's for all ages.
Yes,
for the most part. There's some language. I would say like 16, 15 and above.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd say 16. Like I would not give this to my 14-year-old cousin to read yet. So, but it's so good, and it's closed door. It's great. The plot is great. Aside from them recycling the trial trope.
Yeah.
Can't get past that.
I think it was
I think it's just such a great series.
First series for Lauren, and I know that they're just going to get better and better. I'll read everything she writes.
Yes. No, me too. Like, I mean, if this is how her first series is gone.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be so good.
You know, like, everything else is going to be just stellar work.
And I think
I can't wait till her novella.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think it's going to be about?
Oh, my gosh, I forgot about that. I don't know. It better not be Kit. I'm
a Callum
novella?
novella?
Not be Kit.
Bro, facts. You just told me how much you liked Kit
until the end. Well, here's the thing. I like him, yeah, but not as much as any other character. Like, I think I grew to like him, but I would not want a whole book on just Kit. Like, there's not enough character in him. Like, he's not interesting enough
he's
for
just
me.
Kind of
he's
there.
just kind of bleh. And I feel like
he just kind of exists.
we saw a little bit more character to him, but then it got smashed in the face with the whole last chapter.
I think the whole point of his character is to have kind of not a lot of character because he's being controlled. He's been so shaped by other people that he doesn't really have any personality of his own. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
So maybe it was a specific choice.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what POV I would want though.
Wait, also we did not talk about Callum.
Oh yeah, I feel like he wasn't super memorable for me.
But
but it was crazy.
He was really memorable for me, which is funny.
It was crazy when wasn't he the one that ended up being Peyton's like birth father?
Yes, him and the queen.
That was insane.
That was literally crazy to me, and
the whole thing around the roses,
which that was really insane. Yeah, and she's like, wait. How could this rose garden have been here this whole time?
I feel like, again, like when you look at the cover, like so much was like revealed in this cover, because like we have the pink roses that were like a ton of different things. I feel like the roses,
and the crown.
yeah, and she had pink roses in her wedding, like that's what she ended up doing. So I'm glad I got the pink one. Yeah, the crown, and then there's like blood dripping from the crown, so that could mean like the death of the king, Kit, or that could be like the dead queen that she had to go get the crown from the grave. I just feel like there's like so many things you can unpack in this.
So many things. Yeah. I love it when covers do that. I know like most covers do represent at least one thing from the book, but like when it's multiple little hints, I just think it's so
Me too.
cool.
And I feel like
and then you pick up on them. You feel smart.
And you never know about it until afterwards. Like you're like, oh, this is a cute cover. And then you look back and you're like, there were spoilers all over this cover, and you just never would know.
Like all of her covers are like that. Jessa Hastings covers, like the UK covers, do that really well. I think, covers that do that. I think the Fourth Wing covers kind of do that. Not to the same extent, but it's just cool, and you feel like you're an insider in the club.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man. I know. I feel like we need to say more positive things. I feel like I've really influenced this episode with my negativity. I really apologize for this.
No, I just overall, we kind of just harped on it, but I just think this is a great place to start for fantasy and like young readers who want to get into the fantasy realm. And I personally, I think this is my favorite series I've ever read so far. And that's saying a lot. I think just for many reasons, but like you said, I just love these characters, and I think Lauren did such a great job building these characters and their personalities and
making them lovable too. Like, I mean, you can't not love Kai.
Oh,
if you don't love Kai, you are like living under a rock.
He's like, he is the number one book boyfriend right now, going around on every platform.
Trending.
Yeah, and there's good reason for that. But yeah, I think it's so clean and so pure, and so I just love it so much, and I think that's why it like holds that first place spot in my heart, just because it's also easy to understand. And I don't know if the podcast has picked up on this
coming from you,
but I need
reading the tandem
reads because I just finished the tandem
Abby's still working to get.
I didn't tell anybody that.
Abby's literally. No, you're working up to get to some. I cannot imagine you reading Crescent City right now.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I fear you would not do well.
I know. I'm a little scared.
You need some more training wheel books.
I just I need to be able to understand it, and I think I understood every word of these books, and that's why I loved it so much. Whereas with like Throne of Glass, it's such a cool story, but there's so much going on, and there's so many characters, so much depth to it that my brain is like, oh my gosh, I'm about to explode. So I didn't feel like my brain was going to explode in these books, and maybe that's why I love it so much. But
no, I think that's why it's such a good series, such a good fantasy series to start with, or even to just love forever and reread. So.
I want to get the Kai Funko Pop.
Yeah. We should honestly get them.
Also, I really
can join my Loki one.
I really want to get the I think it's the UK version of Fearless that's like all pink. I don't know if you've seen it, but
yes, I've seen that. It's really pretty.
I thought about buying it the other day, but I was like, okay, why is the shipping like $15? So
what? Where's it from? Waterstones?
Yeah, Waterstone.
I feel like they are usually.
I think it's because it ships from the UK.
No, it's Blackwell's. Blackwell's is the one that has no shipping cost.
So stupid. One day I'll get it, but I feel like whenever I one day in the future have this beautiful library that I hand built that I'm going to want to display a pink Fearless cover. So.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, you might want to just spend the money now before they go out of print, and then they're $5,000.
Yeah, you're right. I should probably just get it. I'm going to do that today.
Like me trying to collect the ACOTAR books, and there's so much money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you've convinced me.
So
I'm going to buy it.
Also, just we're still filming, and I wish I could show the podcast, but bro is so slumped.
Snickers is out.
Snickers is actually falling
Poor
asleep.
baby's so tired. He has such a hard life.
He is. He has such a hard life. He never does anything fun.
Aww.
Never gets to eat any toys. He did like maul his lamb toy. It's unrecognizable.
Poor baby.
So, yeah.
Well,
anyways, maybe I don't know. We'll do a Snickers feature sometime.
Yes.
You need to get a dog so they can be friends. Are you a dog person?
I am a dog person, but I don't think I'm gonna get a dog for a while, just because I don't want to have to deal with a dog right now.
Yeah, I don't recommend, actually.
Yeah, no. I just, especially like
I would
living in a townhouse, I'm like, we don't have enough space for a dog to run around.
No, that's so legit. Yeah, I definitely do not recommend. I love Snickers and I would not give him back, but if no, I wouldn't say
Having
I
a puppy is hard,
but
too.
I just wasn't expecting to get one.
Yeah.
Right at this time, and he just kind of fell into my life.
Exactly.
So, and he's my personality. Also, shameless plug, he does have an Instagram now, so go follow it. Because now I have so many Instagrams to run.
Yeah.
It's just
That's so
great.
funny.
But anyway, so I guess we should officially decide on our next book club book. Also, thank you to everyone for joining our book club. We are having a great time with everyone.
We love having you.
Shout out to all of our members.
And if you're not in our book club, go join it because it's so fun. We love seeing everybody's thoughts on the books that we read.
Yeah, it's actually so fun. It's like a reward to get to open the next chapter.
It's so fun. Yeah, I think we should read A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I feel like that would be a good one to do for May.
I think that'll be a good May book. So go get Great Big Beautiful Life, Emily Henry, from your local store.
And you can go to the link in
or
our bio
Kindle,
too if you want to hop on our book club on Fable.
Yeah. And follow for our updates on Instagram. All the things. Yay. But yeah, I'm excited for May.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is going to be a really good book. I feel like I don't know if it's going to be 5 stars, but you know, we're always hoping for a 5-star.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for our little chat about Fearless. If you haven't read the book, go read it, and then you can come back, which you shouldn't be listening to this actually if you haven't read Fearless because
honestly, some people probably would.
You just got
They'd be
everything
like, I don't care.
spoiled, but thanks for listening.
Yeah, only like the major plot points. We didn't like talk about the minor spoilers.
No, we talked about the major spoilers.
You can find those out. Major spoilers. But yeah, I can't wait to see what everyone rates it. I will go after this and update my Goodreads.
You gotta do that.
Since I've decided. This podcast helped me to decide. It will be a 4, so I hope that appeases you.
Yeah.
She's like, I hate you forever. She's harboring some resentment in her heart at me.
No, it's fine.
No, not actually.
It's fine.
That is so
I gotta
convincing.
finish Throne of Glass and Magnolia Parks so that we can rant about that on the pod as well. So
yes, then we can have a podcast episode on those things. But yeah, we'll see you guys in our next episode, and have a lovely beginning to your May.
Yay.
Yay.
Bye.
Oh, that rhymed. Love. Bye.